The day we moved into Liberty Pines, a quiet suburb in Willow Creek, Virginia, in the spring of 2024, I thought we'd found our forever home. The neighborhood was pristine, with manicured lawns and streets named after Military Honors Valor Way, Courage Court, Duty Drive. It felt like a patriotic postcard, but something about those street signs nagged at me. My wife, Sarah, and I were still unpacking boxes when a woman in a gaudy, over-the-top uniform showed up at our door. She looked like she'd raided a costume shop, shiny brass buttons, epaulets that screamed theater prop, and a chest full of ribbons that didn't align with any military branch I knew. As a former Marine with 15 years of service, I can spot a fake a mile away, and this woman, introducing herself as General Harper, commander of the Liberty Pines Defense Authority, was as fake as they come. She handed me a document that hit like a punch to the gut, a security compliance assessment demanding $600,000 to live in the house we'd just bought with our life savings. I stood there, staring at the paper, half expecting Ashton Kutcher to jump out and yell, "Punked." But this was no prank. Sarah, never one to mince words, took one look at the bill and laughed. "We're not paying this nonsense," she said, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. General Harper, whose real name, I later learned, was Laura Harper, didn't flinch. Instead, she pulled out a radio that looked like it came from a kid's spy kit and barked, "Command, this is General Harper, requesting enforcement at Sector 12. I thought she was unhinged, play-acting some military fantasy, but within minutes, a police car rolled up, lights flashing. Out stepped Officer Nathan Harper, her cousin, striding up our driveway like he was storming a battlefield. He stopped 3 feet from Laura, snapped to attention, and saluted her with a crisp, "Yes, General." My stomach churned. This wasn't just a scam, it was a coordinated shakedown, and a cop was in on it. I asked Laura the question any veteran would. "What unit did you serve with?" Her eyes darted sideways, and she sputtered, "That's classified, soldier." Classified. Unit assignments aren't state secrets. I pressed her, but she doubled down with jargon straight out of a bad war movie. Sarah, standing beside me, was fuming, her fists clenched. Laura, unfazed, explained that the $600,000 fee ensured Liberty Pines remained combat ready. Combat ready for what? A squirrel invasion? When we refused to pay, she taped a compliance directive to our door, threatening eviction within 72 hours and daily fines if we didn't comply. The document was a joke sheet paper, smudged ink, and a seal with an eagle facing the wrong way. But the neighbors watching from their porches didn't laugh. Some nodded like this was normal, others looked away, scared. That night, I couldn't sleep. This wasn't just an overzealous HOA president. Laura was weaponizing military respect to extort people, and Nathan's badge gave her teeth. I reached out to Jack, a retired Air Force colonel I'd heard about through veteran networks. He lived 30 minutes away in Richmond and had a knack for sniffing out scams targeting vets. Over coffee the next morning, Jack cut through the fog. "Laura Harper," he said, pulling up a website on his phone. "She tried climbing the ranks in the real military, flopped, and now she's playing warlord in suburbia." He'd traced her defense authority to a shady HOA registration and suggested we stake out one of her meetings to gather evidence. We parked outside the Liberty Pines Community Center that evening, peering through a window like amateur detectives. Inside, Laura stood in a full-dress uniform, pinning fake medals on an elderly neighbor, declaring her a major for paying a hefty fee. Jack recorded it all, muttering about stolen valor. The ceremony was pathetic but chilling. Good people, retirees, families, genuinely believed they were defending America. One man later told us, beaming, "General Harper's system rewards those who pay more with higher ranks." It wasn't just extortion, it was a pyramid scheme draped in stars and stripes. I contacted Rachel, an investigative reporter known for exposing HOA corruption. She'd taken down 2 similar scams and was itching to tackle this one. When I showed her Jack's footage, her eyes lit up. "This is psychological warfare disguised as patriotism," she said. She went undercover at the next meeting, posing as a prospective homeowner. Laura's speech was pure theater, ranting about warrior citizens and domestic battalions to fend off vague threats. But when an older resident questioned the fees, the room froze. Laura's glare silenced him, but Rachel caught it all on camera. She also learned Laura used these meetings to spot dissenters, labeling skeptics as security risks to keep them in line. Worse, Rachel estimated Laura had pocketed $450,000 in 18 months, funneling it into luxury trips and a new SUV, not community defense. Things escalated fast. Tow trucks showed up at our house, claiming unpaid fees. Fake security patrols with military decals cruised by at 2 a.m. Sarah found notices on our door threatening relocation if we didn't pay. I sent every detail to Rachel, who passed it to a federal investigator named Tom, who specialized in stolen valor cases. Tom revealed a bombshell. Laura's scam wasn't unique. At least 15 similar operations targeted veteran-heavy communities nationwide, exploiting trust in military authority. He interviewed Nathan, who admitted Laura's training manual was all he knew about military protocol. I thought I was helping vets, Nathan confessed, shaken when Tom showed him real military guidelines. Laura had fed him lies, leveraging their family tie to keep him loyal. Rachel's article dropped on a Monday morning in June 2024 with a headline that hit like a grenade. Local HOA leader poses as general, extorts millions in fake defense fees. Veteran groups shared it instantly, and by noon, it was on national news. Real service members tore into Laura's fake uniform ribbons upside down, insignia from a costume shop. Residents saw themselves on TV, portrayed as victims of a con. One elderly woman, who'd paid $20,000 for a colonel rank, wept, whispering, "I thought I was serving my country." Sarah, a nurse, held support meetings to help neighbors process the betrayal, explaining how Laura exploited their patriotism. Laura didn't back down. She called a community meeting, strutting in her fake uniform, ranting about media conspiracies and enemies of liberty. But Nathan stood up, his voice breaking. "This is a lie. I'm done." He walked out, followed by half the room. The next day, he ditched his fake captain badge and filed a report with his precinct, exposing Laura's fraud. Then came the real shock. A Navy Admiral, Rear Admiral Catherine Brooks, emailed me, demanding a meeting at the Norfolk Naval Station. In a stark conference room, she dropped a bombshell. Laura Harper was the contractor behind the corruption scandal that got me discharged a decade ago. She'd buried evidence of her fraudulent billing, and my investigation threatened her profits. My discharge was her cover-up. Moving to Liberty Pines wasn't random. She targeted me for revenge. The Admiral's team, alongside federal agents, dismantled Laura's operation. At a community meeting, Brooks challenged Laura to prove her military knowledge. She flubbed basic ranks, fumbled a salute, and crumbled under scrutiny. Residents gasped as Brooks revealed my discharge was a sham to protect Laura's crimes. An elderly neighbor, who'd bought a fake major pin, handed it to Brooks, tears streaming. "I'm so sorry," she said to me. Laura was arrested days later, facing 25 years in prison and $1.5 million in restitution. Her house, car, and designer clothes bought with stolen funds were seized. Nathan escaped charges but was reassigned to veteran outreach, vowing to rebuild trust. Liberty Pines dissolved the fake defense authority, renamed the HOA, and replaced military street signs with simple American flags. We built a veteran memorial garden, honoring real service with engraved plaques. I was elected HOA president in 2025, promising transparency and protection from scams. Sarah launched a nonprofit to spot fake medical claims targeting vets, while Nathan trained cops to recognize military fraud. The scandal sparked federal laws banning military-themed HOAs, and 3 more scams were shut down nationwide. Sitting on our porch now, watching the flag wave, I feel we've reclaimed something real. But I can't shake the questions. How many other communities are trapped in similar scams? Could you spot a fraud like Laura in your neighborhood? What would you do if someone demanded $600,000 to live in your own home, backed by a cop in on the con? Drop your thoughts below, share your state, and tell me, would you fight or flee? Like, subscribe, and let's keep exposing the truth together.